محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد يروي الإمام مسلم في Imam Muslim, right, to us by Abu Mas'ud. Not Ibn Mas'ud, Abu Mas'ud, and they're very different. Ibn Mas'ud is obviously the early Sahabi who is one of the residents of Mecca. Abu Mas'ud is a Sahabi from Medina. He's one of the Ansar, and he was with the Prophet ﷺ during Badr. And he's a very, I'm not going to talk about him, he's a well-known figure within Islamic history as well. And the Prophet ﷺ had a lot of affection for him. And the theme is still bad religiosity, and I'm going to give you another example of how Abu Mas'ud anhu learned something from what the Prophet ﷺ said to him in this example. فقال كنت أضرب غلاما لي بالسوط. He had a son or a young servant, either or, that he was hitting with a stick. A salt is like it's like a whip or a stick, and he was disciplining him. This is very common if you come from the Middle East. It's normal. If you're Canadian, then this is going to be traumatic for you, and you may need therapy afterwards, so don't listen to it. Every other person here who doesn't come from a background is مكلو علقتين ثلاثة سخنة بحياته, at least he knows what it means when his father gives him that look or his mother picks up her slippers. This man, when he was disciplining his son, فقال فسمعت من ورائي من يقول اعلم أبا مسعود. No, O Abu Mas'ud. قال فلم أفهم الصوت ولم أفهم الكلام. I didn't hear it well. Like I was saying, I heard this sound, I heard these words, but I didn't understand who it was, and I couldn't figure out who it was. قال فلما دنا مني, when the person who said it came close to me, فإذا هو رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. It turned out to be the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام who came. يقول لي اعلم أبا مسعود. اعلم أبا مسعود. No, Abu Mas'ud. No, Abu Mas'ud. قال فألقيت السوط من يدي, and I threw the stick or the whip from my hand. فقال اعلم أبا مسعود أن الله أقدر عليك منك على هذا الغلام. Oh, Abu Mas'ud, know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has more power and authority over you than you do over this kid. فقلت لا أضرب مملوكا لي بعد هذا اليوم أبدا. I will never hit another servant or son of mine ever again the rest of my life. صلى الله عليه وسلم أجمعين. And the hadith has this heavy tone to it, because the Prophet ﷺ was very upset with what he saw someone who he considered to be one of the leaders of the Sahaba. Amongst the Ansar, there were leaders, people, they accepted Islam a bit later, obviously, because Islam came to them later. But there were leaders amongst them, Abdullah ibn Amr ibn Hiram, and Sa'd ibn Zurara, and many other, Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, and Sa'd ibn Ubadah, etc., etc. Amongst them also was Abu Mas'ud. Abu Mas'ud, he outlived most of these names. Most of these people died either during Uhud or during Al-Khandaq, but Abu Mas'ud lived long. So the Prophet, and he was someone who was wise, and the people came to him and they asked him for advice, and he was a very generous man. He was someone who people had a lot of respect for him. So when he saw him doing this, alayhi salatu wasalam, it bothered him. It bothered him because this is a bad representation. Because this is not how you should be representing the level of knowledge that you have and the level of religiosity that you carry. So he came and he didn't alayhi salatu wasalam, give the advice in a way that is raqiq, which is usually what he does. This is very important to notice when you're reading his hadith alayhi salatu wasalam. When he gives advice, it's always extremely tender. It's always kind. It's always in a nice tone. Rarely does he do it alayhi salatu wasalam in a way that is strict or rigid or difficult. But in this one he did. He was so upset with Abu Mas'ud that he just kept on saying, "I'lam Abu Mas'ud." No, you should know Abu Mas'ud. It's almost like you should know better. The way I interpret this is like almost he's saying, you should know better. You should know better than to behave like this and act like this. And Abu Mas'ud, when he finally understood that what he was doing, and he knew it. Like he knew what he was doing was wrong, as most people do. We all do when we're breaching an ethical rule that we know. We know it. Abu Mas'ud didn't need for him to finish his sentence. So he threw it from his hand. He knew that what he was doing was not. And the Prophet ﷺ he told him, know that Allah is more capable of punishing you than you are of this young person. And of course he knows that, radiallahu anhu. We all know that, but because of the problem that exists if he were not to correct his behavior. The problem is that you teach people that it's okay to do these things. You represent Islam negatively. You start a legacy of bad behavior in the name of the deen when you do that. So he was upset with him, alayhi salatu wasalam, because he knows, because never did the Prophet alayhi قال ما ضرب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بيده شيئا قط لا امرأة ولا طفلا ولا دابة. He never hit anything alayhi salatu wasalam with his hands. Outside of jihad, outside of carrying, pulling the sword and fighting for your country and for your life and for your rights. Not a woman, not a child, not an animal, nothing. He never hit anything, never struck anything, alayhi salatu wasalam. Think about that for a moment. Think about the viciousness of our upbringings as Muslims. Wallahi, think of how vicious our upbringings are all across the map. From Mauritania to as far as Muslims go into China. Right? If think of it as north as Bosnia and Turkey down to as in the middle of the jungles of Africa. Think of Muslims and the viciousness of all of our upbringings, as in beatings being the norm of how you're going to grow up by being beaten by everyone who's older than you, and this is going to be done by. And yet the Prophet ﷺ, ما ضرب بيده شيئا قط. He never hit anything with his hand. How does that happen? Like why is that piece ignored? Because it's convenient to be ignored. Because as parents, I prefer to ignore it too. Because every once in a while, I'll slap my kid all over the head. I don't want to be told that's not what the Prophet ﷺ does and I have to be held accountable. I want it to be okay, so I'll ignore this part. So it's bad religiosity, where you conveniently ignore the pieces that don't suit you, or the stuff that don't work with you, or you don't find helpful in your life, or you are not willing to follow. And that's why we have all these bad behaviors in our deen. That's why we ignore a lot of stuff. That's why when he talks alayhi salatu wasalam about eating habits, no one cares. We just use that we just present it to the non-Muslims to look good. See, listen what he taught alayhi salatu wasalam. Our Prophet said that you only eat a third of your stomach. You only fill a third of it, and the rest you put liquid and the rest is empty. Who practices that? Who practices that? Like, you understand how rare it is to find a human being who even thinks of that as a practice? تضرب معدتك إلى الدوخ. You stuff it until there's no way you can't breathe anymore, until you fall over like you're an anaconda that just swallowed a horse. This is the norm of how we behave. But why is it that this, by the way, this hadith, it's not just one hadith. He said this maybe 10 times, and it exists authentically in every collection of hadith that exists, narrated to us by 7 different Sahaba. You understand? We just choose that it's not convenient. So we just ignore it. We just ignore it, because that's what bad religiosity is. That's being selective, and that's Abu Mas'ud was selective for a moment, and then it occurred to him. He got it. He never did it again. That's the point of this hadith. What he said. He never did it again. Never again. It's okay for us to have bad habits and to represent Islam negatively sometimes. But what has to change is that you have to recognize it, realize it, and then never do it again. As the Sahaba did when it was pointed out to them. يروي الإمام مسلم في صحيحه عن أبي مسعود رضي الله عنه قال كنت أضرب غلاما لي بالسوط فسمعت صوتا من خلفي يقول اعلم أبا مسعود فلم أفهم الصوت من الغضب فلما دنا مني فإذا هو رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول اعلم أبا مسعود اعلم أبا مسعود فألقيت السوط من يدي فقال اعلم أبا مسعود أن الله أقدر عليك منك على هذا الغلام يقول فما ضربت مملوكا لي بعد ذلك اليوم أبدا. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. الحمد لله لا إله إلا أنت استغفر وأتوب إليك وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. جزاكم الله خير. بارك الله فيكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.